Yo, this is Christian Madrid here on Madrid Videos with y'all. And next up, since the year is coming to an end, this is the final day of the year, the time of this recording. So, I'm going to give y'all my favorite films of 2021 because it's been a good year for movies. So, like, comment, subscribe to Madrid Videos, tell your family, friends. Let's get to the video now, yo. Alright, y'all, so let's get into it now. So, at number 10, I got Red Notice. Red Notice, this movie came out, a few months ago on Netflix. It has The Rock, it's got Ryan Reynolds, and it's got Gal Gadot. This one surprised me. I didn't think it was going to be that good, so at first I didn't really watch it, but then I heard it was #1 on Netflix, so I was like, I gotta check it out, man. It took the top spot over Squid Game, I believe, or one of those shows, but Red Notice, this movie, it was good. It had some great twists and turns, had some great humor and action scenes. Ryan Reynolds and The Rock and Gal Gadot, they all have great chemistry in this movie and make a great team. And that's what made this movie really good. Now let's get to number 9 now. Alright, yo, at number 9, I got Ghostbusters Afterlife. This one was another one that surprised me too. I didn't think it was going to be as good. That's why I didn't check this out either when it first came out until a few weeks went by. And then I went to go check it out with my good friend Tyler, and we both enjoyed it. It's a great movie. It had some nostalgia in it from previous Ghostbusters, and it's got the kid from Stranger Things. It's got Paul Rudd, It's just a great movie all around, funny, with the great scene at the end, that called back and brought back all the original Ghostbusters, and that's what makes this movie great. Now let's get to number 8 now. Alright, at number 8, here's another one from Netflix, Don't Look Up. Now, I was excited to see this one, as I am always excited to see a Leonardo DiCaprio movie, because Leonardo DiCaprio is that good of an actor. He's one of my favorites. But it doesn't just have him. It has Jonah Hill, it's got Meryl Streep, Tyler Perry, Kate Blanchett, Ariana Grande even for a little bit. This movie is really funny. It's got a little bit of a ridiculous plot, of a meteor hitting Earth and the world ending, but it's funny, and Jennifer Lawrence too. And Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio and Jonah Hill, they have great chemistry in this movie, and it makes it hilarious to watch. It makes me want to watch it multiple times, and that's what made this movie great. Don't Look Up at number 8. Alright, at number 7, I got King Richard, with Will Smith. This one was another great one. This one was on HBO Max. I could see it at home. I would have paid to see this in the theaters, but I'm always glad to watch a free movie. But Will Smith definitely gives the performance of the year. I think he should win the Oscar for Best Actor. It's a long time coming because Will Smith, he hasn't won an Oscar yet, and he's had many great movies like Pursuit of Happiness, I Am Legend, Bad Boys, Independence Day, and I think it's time to finally give Will Smith his Oscar. Like Jordan Lucas says, it's time to give him his roses, because this movie was good, and he plays Serena Williams' dad, Richard, so great. You don't like him at times, and there's times where you love him, and he brings both of those sides out in this performance and does it great. Now let's get to number 6 now. Alright, at number 6, I got Free Guy. This one was another surprised me. I watched it, when it first came out, the first day or two, because this one, it looked fun, it looked a little goofy, but it was definitely worth watching. I watched it with my good friend Greg. I was supposed to see it with my good friends Greg, Tyler, and Ethan, but Tyler and Ethan decided to go watch Don't Breathe 2, but I decided I better go see Free Guy because it looked more interesting and funny to me, but they decided to go see Don't Breathe, even though to me that seems like a movie that I won't be remembering within the next 5 years, but Free Guys definitely is that movie you will be remembering because it is that funny. Ryan Reynolds is funny as ever in this. It's got video game humor. The villain is the kid from Stranger Things. It's just a great movie. It works, and it's really funny and original, and that's why it is number 6. Alright, at number 5, I got Licorice Pizza. Now, this was actually the final movie I watched this year. I watched it, yesterday at the time of this recording, and this is Paul Thomas Anderson, his 9th film. It is a great movie. It's well made, well shot. It's got a great story. It's a little bit of an unusual story because it's about a 15-year-old boy trying to hook up with a 25-year-old woman, but in this movie, it works. And from a great director like Paul Thomas Anderson, who has many great films like Boogie Nights, There Will Be Blood, Magnolia, this is another one of his great films. And the star of this is Philip Seymour Hoffman's son, Cooper Hoffman, who Philip Seymour Hoffman has been in many great movies like Boogie Nights, Capote, Mission Impossible 3, Moneyball, Magnolia, Talented Mr. Ripley, and many others. This movie definitely warrants. I can see great potential for Cooper Hoffman because he shines and is great in this movie. And also, it's got supporting stars like Bradley Cooper and Sean Penn, supporting roles, and they're great in it too. And that's why this movie is number 5. All right, at number 4, I got the best feel-good movie of the year, American Underdog. I saw this a few days ago too. This one was really good. I saw it with my buddies Michael and Tyler. We had very shitty seats. We sat first row because my dumbass, we decided not to get the tickets, when they first came out, because I didn't think it was gonna be sold out. Honestly, it's $5 Tuesday, but on $5 Tuesday, you gotta get your tickets ahead of time because a lot of people want to go see movies on $5 Tuesday here in Clovis at Sylvester Mall. But it was a great movie nonetheless, about Kurt Warner. He is definitely an underdog. I didn't know this before I saw the movie, but he was the first undrafted player to not only win a Super Bowl, but to win an MVP, and he did it twice. And Kurt Warner, there's so many stuff in this film that I didn't know about him that I know now. I didn't know too much of him, but I just knew he was a great quarterback for the Rams and the Cardinals. But seeing his story in this movie was great, and he was played by the guy from Beach Exam, Zachary Levi. He did great too, and it's also got the girl from True Blood in it as his wife. This movie is just good all around. It also got Dennis Quaid in a great supporting role as the Rams coach. Everyone does great all around. The story is a great story told, and even though we did have shitty seats, it was still a great movie to watch. Let's get to number 3 now. All right, now at number 3, I got No Time to Die, the 25th and I think final James Bond film. It probably won't be the final James Bond film, even though that's what they say it is, But this one was a great movie, Daniel Craig, James Bond, can't miss. Rami Malek, he did a great role as the villain. He wasn't the best Bond villain because I still love Mads Mikkelsen's villain from Casino Royale and Javier Bardem from Skyfall. I think those are better, but I think Rami Malek does do a great job because he's a great actor, from great movies like Mr. Robot and playing Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. But this movie is a great one. It's got great action. I think the opening scene in this is probably one of the best scenes in James Bond movie history. It was that great, It was wonderful action sequence, and the movie all around is just great, It's at a perfect runtime, I don't think it's the best Bond film, but it's definitely worth a watch, and that's why it's at my number 3. All right, at number 2, these top 2, it could be either one. It flip-flops, back and forth because these 2 films are that great. But for this video for now, I'm going to go number 2, Suicide Squad, The Suicide Squad. Now, the first Suicide Squad, it was okay. I wasn't a big fan of it with Will Smith, but this one definitely is much better than the first one because what this film has that the first doesn't, it's got better humor, better action scenes, maybe because this one is rated R and the other one's PG-13, and this one is directed by James Gunn, who knows how to direct a superhero film better than, Antonio Fuqua, I think that's his name, because Antonio Fuqua, that's the first superhero movie ever directed because he's only known for like End of Watch, Training Day, those movies, but James Gunn is a better director suited for this type of movie because from the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, of course, you guys remember those. But he does great in this movie as a director. But not only that, the cast, Margot Robbie comes back as Harley Quinn. John Cena as Peacemaker. He was funny in this. Idris Elba, as Bloodsport or Bloodshot, something like that. And Sylvester Stallone as King Shark. Fucking hilarious. I got to see this at home with my buddies Michael and Tyler on HBO Max. It is a great movie, hilarious, great action scenes all around. Many great things that the first movie didn't have, and that's why it is my number 2 pick. All right, now before I get to my number 1 pick, I just want to tell y'all the year's biggest disappointment, since I don't really have any honorable mentions for y'all because these 10 films are the only films I actually liked of the year. So the honorable mentions are either okay movies or movies that aren't that good, so I don't have any honorable mentions. But the year's biggest disappointments, I think Matrix Resurrections was a disappointment. Compared to the first one, this is very disappointing. It didn't have Hugo Weaving or Lawrence Fishburne, who played Morpheus and Agent Smith, from the first ones. I thought they should have brought them back, but no, they didn't, and I thought that was very disappointing, even though the person who replaced Lawrence Fishburne's role wasn't bad, but it just wasn't Lawrence Fishburne, He, you can't replace a guy like Lawrence Fishburne, come on. And I thought the guy who replaced Agent Smith was terrible, and this movie was just kind of boring, it wasn't great. It wasn't terrible, but it was just boring, compared to the first one. The first one was one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time, The Matrix, but this one, it's not, it's not even one of the best movies this year. It was just boring and wasn't the best. But that's not the most disappointing movie. I think the most disappointing movie of this year, and a lot of y'all are going to disagree with me, because a lot of y'all probably love this film, but I just didn't. Dune. I'll say that again, Dune. Dune was just disappointing. I found it very boring, very confusing, even though I can appreciate, the cinematography, the way it's shot and directed, and the performance, I can appreciate that. But just the story all around is confusing. I didn't read the book, so maybe that's why I found it confusing, but it just wasn't for me. It's a very slow burn, slow pace. I do like Denis Villeneuve. I think he's a good director. I like his previous stuff, like Prisoners, but this one, it just wasn't for me. It was just very boring. I was very excited to see this movie. I saw the trailer. The trailer was wonderful, but it's one of those movies where the trailer was actually better than the movie for me. So that was the biggest disappointment of the year for me, Dune. But anyways, let's get to my number one pick. All right, my number one pick. It's not really much of a surprise. It's the blockbuster of the year. It is Spider-Man No Way Home. This one was a great fucking movie. Spider-Man No Way Home, it's got that emotional weight on it. It's got humor. It's got great action, and it's got, spoiler alert, it's got all the players and characters from previous Spider-Man movies, and villains like, Doc Ock. It's got Green Goblin, Jamie Foxx's, villain, Sandman, it's got all those and they do great. And it's got the other Spider-Mans returning like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and Doctor Strange in this movie. It's just a great, funny movie, entertaining, even has Daredevil in it, and the whole story, everything comes together in a great fashion. This is the best Spider-Man movie and the best movie of the year. So y'all should go check it out when you get the chance. You won't be disappointed. Great movie. All right, so those are my top 10 favorite movies of the year. What are your favorite movies of the year? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think I missed. Of course, I didn't watch every movie that came out this year, so if you have a good movie recommendation that I didn't say, please drop it in the comments below. Let me know, and I'll see you guys next time here on Madrid Videos. What a great year, for this channel, and I can't wait to see what 2022 has in store for us. I can't wait, So thank y'all. I just want to say thank y'all so much for supporting the channel, watching the videos. 22 is going to have much more great videos coming out. So please stay tuned. This is Chris from Madrid. I'm out, yo. Let's get it. Have a wonderful year, everybody.
Thank you so much for another great year, Madrid Videos!